I have a question for you. So, my question for you this Sunday is: do you have a dream, a goal, an idea that you just cannot get yourself to take action on? Do you have an idea, something that you think will be great that you're excited to do, but you just feel insecure about it? You feel as if it's not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not polished enough. Are any of those thoughts your thoughts? Are any of those thoughts keeping you from going forward and thriving, succeeding, and just crushing whatever it is the dream is, the goal is, the idea is? If that's you, if you can identify with that, I believe this Sunday school will help you a lot. I believe this Sunday school will break a lot of people free. So today's Sunday school is a little different. It's really just me having a conversation with you and sharing with you my journal entry. I had a journal entry today as I was getting ready for Sunday school. And at the end of it, I thought to myself, you know what? Why not share? This may make a good Sunday school. So today is short. Pull up a chair, some hot chocolate, tea, a blanket, whatever it is, however you listen and get comfortable. And I just want to just have a moment with you where I share with you my inner thoughts, the perspective shift that I believe God allowed me to arrive to from prayer, meditation, talking to Him. But I think it can not only help me, I think it can help you too. So for those of you who have never been here before, my name is Shelomith, and I am excited to welcome you to another Detour to Destiny Shelomith Inspire Sunday School. I'm going to read you my journal entry, get right into it, and then talk to you a little bit about the conclusion I came to. And I also want to hear your thoughts at the end of this. So here are my thoughts from today. Coming of age and realizing most of what I have taken into consideration in order to guide my decisions are things I should have never even paid attention to. A lot of the things that swayed me to do or not to do, or do things that I didn't want to do, are a result of me paying attention to, thinking about, acknowledging, or meditating on things I never should have been paying attention to. And then I went further, zeroing in on a small bucket, a small bubble of people, and then zooming in on them until they take up the entire screen that is the view of my life has made my world so small that they were the only people I was receiving feedback from. Ironic how zooming in and making one detail of life extremely large makes your entire world smaller. Pause. What's your thoughts on that? Listen to this again. Ironic how zooming in and making one detail of life extremely large makes your entire world smaller. For anyone listening, that's a good journal prompt to just think about that thought and write it down. But I'll keep going. The millions of people in the world that we have access to, even tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of people we have access to in our city and state. Yet, so often, I have let the culture and buying habits of the trends of people within a 5 to 10 mile radius convince me that the entire world will more than likely not be interested in me or what I have to offer. Even worse, sometimes it's not even the people within a 5 to 10 mile radius, but the people in my immediate circle. Yes, much of what I have considered and allowed to sway my decisions have been things I never should have been thinking about or even paying attention to. Can you relate to that? I'll keep going. Perception, the perceived power of perception over what God has determined will be and what will not be. The perceived cause and effect versus the real cause and effect. The immediate reaction from people, the ripple effect within 10 feet of you versus the truth of how far into the distance of time the ripple really ripples. The people I encounter or have encountered so far who said no versus the millions of people beyond the distance encompassing what I can see who are waiting to say yes. The closed door immediately in my face, at the tip of my nose, versus all of the open doors around corners further ahead. When I was thinking about that, when I wrote that, it was like I was thinking about how sometimes we feel like what's happening immediately is what will always happen. Sometimes we overgeneralize whatever experience we're having now, and we assume that that's the total sum of the experience for tomorrow, the day after, the day after, the day after. And a lot of times it's just the experience that's happening right now. And what's going to happen tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, will not look anything like what we're experiencing in this moment. And then I went on to say, the guys who are not my type, not for me, who stand in front of me, versus the guys who are my type, who I will meet in the soon distance, making this moment to the present. The eyes of onlookers I have imagined are watching me, who really are paying me no mind, versus the onlookers who are watching me, but don't matter anyway because they don't impact what God has for me. The amount of time I have wasted by deciding not to do something or to do something I really didn't want to do in those moments just because of what they may think or feel about it. Is the real fear being alone? Is the real desire to have what it feels like to be revered and celebrated? Is the real issue what rejection indicates to me? What does rejection tell me about myself? What does rejection tell me about what I have created or have done? Do I internalize rejection to mean I really am not good enough for the people to want me? Do I internally believe that rejection is proof that it's really not good enough? So then I ask, what's the proper balance between taking feedback into consideration so that you do grow and get better versus total acceptance of who you are and what you're created to do and not changing it at all because it's authentically you and exactly the way it should be. In writing this, I believe the balance is to always know that where you presently are and what you presently can create is always good enough for now. So be you openly and unapologetically and share what you create now with confidence, knowing that it's enough for now. At the same time, continue to grow and get better. Use discernment and filter constructive criticism, positive feedback from things that are insults, negative comments, and suggestions that you are not enough, should stop, not be, or not do. Ask yourself, is the feedback positive? Is it presented in a way that is encouraging to me to be myself? Is it presented in a way that is encouraging me to be myself while I grow and evolve? Is it encouraging me to keep going while I make it better, while I make myself better? Or is it suggesting that I stop? Is the feedback suggesting that I don't have what it takes, or that it's not good enough, or that I'm not good enough? The answer is to embrace the positive and spit out the negative. Live out loud in the present moment, always knowing that who you presently are and what you presently have to give is always perfect for this moment. Show up, show yourself, give it. Always continue to grow and get better. But don't think today isn't good enough for today just because tomorrow will be better. I'll say that again. Don't think that today isn't good enough for today just because tomorrow will be better. Let today bring forward everything in you as is today. Let tomorrow bring forward you and everything you can produce tomorrow as is tomorrow. Each day in your capacity and present day is always perfect for present day. Today lacks nothing. Today lacks nothing just because it won't hold what tomorrow brings. Tomorrow is not today's responsibility or obligation. The only thing required of today is what is present today. The only thing required of you, of me today, is who we are today and what we bring today. For no matter what day it is, the day will ultimately be whatever God determines it to be. For unless the Lord builds it, everything we do is in vain anyway. So don't lose rest over this. Work in balance from a positive, stress free place. Allow yourself to grow and evolve, but always know that who you are and what you have to give today is 100% enough for today. That was my journal entry. That's what I decided to share. And I decided to share it because the perspective, what I realized is that just looking back over life, there's been so many years, so many months, so many moments that I had an idea or I had a vision or I had a business idea or there was something I wanted to do and I stopped myself from doing it because I felt like it wasn't good enough. I felt like it wasn't perfected enough. I felt like it wasn't polished enough. And I just felt God saying that the only thing that's required of you today is who you are today. The only thing that's required of you today is what you can produce today, no matter how imperfect you think it is, no matter how underdeveloped you think it is, no matter how unpolished you think you are perfect for today. So give what you have to give today. Don't hide it. Don't try to clean it up and polish it. Give it today. And tomorrow, it may be a better version and give that better version tomorrow. Next month, it may be a better version. Give that better version next month. 2 years from now, it's going to be even better. You're going to be even better. Show up even more evolved, more polished, the way you look 2 years, but never not do what you can do today because tomorrow may look better. Never not show up as yourself today because you see a better version of yourself tomorrow. The version of yourself that you are today is perfect for today. What you can produce today, what you can create today at the level you can create it is perfect today because ultimately it's God who is building it. It's God who is blessing it anyway. And we're just lucky enough to be able to experience the process of us showing up imperfect, incomplete, and seeing God perform a miracle anyway. And I want to leave you with Psalm 127. That's the psalm that I arrived at the end of my thoughts and meditations and talking to God. Psalm 127 says this: except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keeps the city, the watchman wakes, but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for he gives his beloved sleep. That is Psalm 127, verses 1 through 3, 1 through 2. And that Bible verse is saying everything that I just said in my reflection. It's affirming everything that I just said. And it's just saying, listen, don't lose sleep over being a perfectionist. Don't lose sleep over overworking. He gives you rest because ultimately, if God's hand isn't in it, it's not going to be successful anyway. And if God's hand is in it, it's going to be successful because his hand is on it. So don't lose rest over it. Don't fret over it. Work in balance. Take the positive, constructive criticism, continue to grow and evolve while you are putting yourself out front, putting yourself out there the entire time. Evolve out loud, evolve visually, like evolve in front of whoever you're supposed to talk to. Because what a lot of times we miss our evolution is also part of our testimony. Our growth, us evolving from the infancy of a dream, the infancy of an idea, to a more evolved, advanced version of the idea, us evolving from where we are today to the stronger, wiser, more evolved version of ourselves tomorrow, even that entire process is a gift to other people as they watch you evolve, as they watch your business go from small beginnings to big beginnings. Because when you do that stuff out front, it gives other people the inspiration to start where they're at, where they are. When you show up and the video is not perfect, it gives someone else the confidence to show up without their video being perfect. When you show up and the business isn't all the way together and you still have things that you're working out, it gives other people the confidence to show up imperfectly as well. And as you grow and as you evolve, and as the content and the events and the business and the clothing line and whatever it is you're building, as it grows and evolves, people get to see it. And it's inspiration and it's encouraging to other people. So don't feel as if your growth process is something to be ashamed of. Your growth process is beautiful. Your growth process is the strongest testimony, honestly. The process of you getting from A to Z helps more people than you just showing up already at Z. So be you, show up as you unapologetically. Whatever you have to give and create, it is good enough. Every single moment, every day is good enough for that day. Put it out just as it is. As you get feedback, filter the negative criticism from the positive criticism. Take the positive, spit out the negative, keep growing and evolving. And when you keep yourself in that mindset, it frees you to thrive. A lot of times we are stuck just because we are stuck in feeling not good enough, stuck in what someone else may think, stuck in what someone else's opinion may be of what we're doing, stuck in feeling insecure, stuck in imposter syndrome. Get unstuck. And the way you get unstuck is by knowing that God's hand on it is going to bless it and you are enough. What you have is enough. Show up, give it as is. See God's hand come in and teach you. See God's hand come in and bless it anyway, and be empowered and empower others as you live, grow, and evolve out loud and out front. That is today's Sunday School. I love you so much. And until next Sunday, be blessed.